right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bakakadash. And the Heavenly Father, true name is Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Bahashem, and the name of Mashiach, Kabashai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, Lashwan Kadash on the tongue. And I say Barakatham to the elders, Wa'akim, Wa'akwaf, and I say Shalom. This is a sit-down lesson of the prophecy updates as of December the 18th, 2024 on this Wednesday night. And this is a news article from the JerusalemPost.com as of December 19th, 2024. And it reads, Sirens blare across central Israel following missile fire from Yemen. As we've been seeing, the rising tensions been heating up between the Houthi rebels, which is a pro-Iranian group going against the Israel Defense Force. This is the second time this week that Yemen targeted Israel. An initial drone was fired towards the country on Monday. It says sirens across central Israel due to a projectile that was fired from Yemen to the IDF announced during the early hours on Thursday morning. It added that the missile was intercepted by the IAF before crossing into Israeli territory, and sirens were sounded due to the possibility of the falling dispersed. Megan David Adam, MDA, that no one was wounded due to the burst from the firing. However, several people reported panic attacks and minor injuries on the way to their safe rooms. Short while later, Israeli media reports damage to the school and several cars in Ramoth left through. The IDF has not confirmed this. The intercepted caused explosions to be heard across the city. Missile from Yemen. This is the second time this week that Yemen targets Israel. An initial drone was fired towards the country on Monday. The IDF missile boat intercepted the Yemen drones at the time, and Israel's military noted that it has not crossed it into the Israeli territory. Occupied Jaffa, a Tel Aviv, is not safe for the Zionist Zaldom Imar, chairman of the Houthi-backed Yemen state news agency Shibal, posts X Twitter along with the photo of what it called a new failure of the Zionist air defense. This is a developing story. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Right, that's wars and rumors of wars, which is taking place over there in the Middle East of Western Asia. The Houthi rebels, pro-Iranian, going against the Israel Defense Force. As they said, this was the second time Houthis launched airstrikes towards near Tel Aviv and towards central Israel. As you had the IDF intercepted the missiles that was coming from the Houthi rebels, was a pro-Iranian group, which they continue in solidarity with the Palestinians, while you have the Israel Defense Force been using heavy raids over there in the Gaza Strip in the Palestinian territory. As escalation has been definitely heating up between the Palestinians and the Israel Defense Force. Matthew 24, verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not in trouble, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Matthew 24, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 15. For the sword of destruction draweth nigh. One people should stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. Right, great seditions among the nations which we have seen. And we know the motto that swords weapon. Second Edges 15:16. For there should be sedition among men, many one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor their princes, in the course of action stand in power. And this is the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth. The squares of nations will perplex and the seas rage war. It's the book of Second Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 3. There shall be seen earthquakes, upwars, and people of the world. Yep, so as it says again, sirens blare across central Israel following missile fire from Yemen. This is the second time this week that Yemen targeted Israel. An initial drone was fired towards the country on Monday. Right, so that's the signs of wars and rumors of wars. And this is a news article from the Jerusalem Post once again as of December 19th, 2024. You know, as we've been seeing for the past 2 weeks, for the past 2 weeks or so, I believe, we've seen those drone sightings over there in New York and New Jersey area. And it reads, U.S. says laser strikes on aircraft in New Jersey soar after report drone sightings. A federal Aviation Administration said on Wednesday that the incidence of people pointing lasers at airplanes in New Jersey has soared since people began reporting sightings of drones. The FAA says reports of 269% to 59 in the first half of December, compared with the 8 in the same period last year. Aiming a laser at an aircraft is a serious safety issue and a violation of federal law, the U.S. agency said. The spike in drone sightings does not pose national security risk or appears to be most air-class stars or hobbyist drones. And this is another news article as of December 18th, 2024, and it reads, Massive defense bill passes Congress. The U.S. Senate voted overwhelmingly for an $895 billion bill-setting policy for the Pentagon on Wednesday, despite the inclusion controversial provisions on the Alphabet Lifestyle Medical Care for Minors. It says the 100-member Senate backed the National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA, by 85 to 14 since it passed the House Representatives last week. Approval sent to the White House, where the bill congressional supporters say President Biden is expected to sign into law. This year's new NDA authorized recording $895 billion in annual military spending, covering purchases of ships, aircraft, weapons, including provisions extending to boost the competitiveness in geopolitical rivals like China and Russia. The small hat federations said that they were deeply grateful to Congress for passing the matter. Well, of course, because Israel and the United States, they are economic partners and military partners as well too. And let's get to that RT.com.
And when you gonna be ready to do that?
I'll do it tomorrow.
I'm seeing cash up for $15 in the morning.
And this is another news article. This is from December 18th, 2024. And keep this in mind, I believe like a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken, because Louisiana has reported its first case of the bird flu outbreak. Now, this is another news article as of December 18th, 2024, from World News, RT.com. It reads, California declares emergency over virus outbreak. It says Governor Gavin Newsom announced the proactive move amending the rapid speed, because I believe it was like 61 cases, because I believe it was spreading into like different parts of the United States, like 3 or 4 states, if I'm not mistaken. And then you had like 61 cases of this bird flu in California. And Gavin Newsom declared state of emergency. It says Gavin declares emergency over VIRIS outbreak. It says Governor Gavin Newsom announced a proactive move in the rapid spread of the HFN1 bird flew through the U.S. daily cattle herds, if I pronounced that right. It says the governor, Gavin Newsom, has declared a state of emergency after new cases of the H5N1 avian influenza virus was detected in a dairy cows in Southern California. Insisted that the risk of a general public remains low. The virus has been spread through the United States daily cattle herds since March, affecting that at least 16 states, while the certain for the DISEAE, DISEASE control and preventions of the C to the D, the CDC. It says reports no confirmed human-to-human transmission for at least 61 human cases have been detected across the country, including 34 in California. The proclamation is a target action to ensure that government agencies have the resources and flexibility that need to respond quickly to this outbreak. Newsom, in a statement on Wednesday, while the risk to the public remains low, we will continue to take all necessary steps to prevent the spread of the virus. The H5N1 virus is considered a particularly dangerous regarding human infections. The WHO, if you know what I mean, recorded more than 860 confirmed cases since 2003, with about 53% resulting in deaths. Let's bring up that second Esdras 15 verse 5. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 verse 5. It says, Behold, saith Yahweh, that I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. It's another news article that goes into that second Esdras 15 verse 5. And this is another news article from RT.com, December 18th, 2024. It reads, it says, Dr. Congo reveals a cause of mysterious illness. Health authorities have identified a previous known disease as severe myeloma, if I pronounce that right, myeloma, a previous unidentified disease that has breakout of the Just like another reminder, I would say, like about for the past 2 months or so, you've been having, the mpox outbreak, which firstly reported over there in Congo, I believe, like the southern part of Congo, and then it reached places like Italy, South Africa, and other places as of late. But we haven't heard no more about this ever since then. I just want to add a sad note to that. It says the health authorities have identified a previous known disease as a severe malarial, a previously unidentified disease that has broke out the southwestern Kwanigo province of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Is a severe and form of malaria, the country's health minister has announced. It said It says earlier this month, the local authorities reported that disease, which have not been officially identified, has claimed 143 lives in November. The symptoms included fever, headache, cough, runny nose, and body aches. It says the mystery has finally solved. It's a case of severe myeloma presenting as a respiratory illness. The health minister stated that, noting that the widespread malnutrition in the area has increasingly susceptibility to the disease since October. There has been 592 uh, reported cases and a fatality rate of 6.2. The statement says. More, it says most of the affected individuals are children. The outbreak is constricted 9 of the 30 areas of the Panlazai Health Zone, approximately 700 kilometers, 435 miles from the Kanhurasashia, and with complicated investigation of response efforts. The WHO has sent a team of experts to the Panlazai region to assist in identifying the disease as managing the outbreak. Last week, the General Tadros Adhanom Ghebreyesus revealed that 10 initial samples of the patients of the DRC affected by the mysterious illness has tested positive for malaria. However, he stressed that this finding does not rule out the presence of other diseases occurring simultaneously. The professional health ministers and Polyneri Limwa told Reuters that the myeloma treatment provided by the WHO was being distributed across the primary hospital and healthcare facilities in the region. Myeloma, one of the deadliest infectious diseases globally, is transmitted by infected mosquitoes, and it can take weeks to show symptoms, and particularly cough, fevers, vomiting, chills, flu-like symptoms, while treatable myeloma remains a significant threat in developing countries, claiming approximately 600,000 lives annually, 93% more are in Africa. Yep, second Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith Yahweh, that I will bring 6 plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, and destruction. See. And this is another news article from December 18th, 2024, and it reads for business news. As we've been seeing, rising tensions been heating up between Russia and the United States. As you've seen, Russia and the United States a couple of days ago sent those nuclear warnings from each other. And that goes into that Matthew 24, verse 6, wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And as I add a sad note to that, and this is a news article, like I mentioned once again, as of December 18th, 2024, from RT.com, and it reads, It says Russians Ocean strike boosts bunker sales and U.S. media reports. It says the market for home survival shelters is predicted to grow 175 million by 2030. It says Russian combat use of the Orshink hypersonic missile last month to lead a fourfold increase in the number of Americans looking for nuclear bunkers. The CEO of the Texas-based survival shelter company has claimed Russian military out of the first ever combat test of the Orshink on November 21st using ballistic missiles to batter the Ukrainian military industrial facilities and begin part with multiple hypersonic warheads, Russian President Vladimir Putin said. Decision to unveil the ocean was made in response to the U.S. and its allies giving Ukraine permission to use missiles in the long-range strikes on international organization Russian territory. The Orson can carry a nuclear or conventional warhead and travels at 10 times the speed of sound. The Western air defense systems cannot intercept such missiles, Putin said in a televised speech. It is impossible. It says within hours of the strike, Atlas Survivor Shelter CEO Ron Hubbard's phone rings nonstop. The Independent reported on Tuesday Hubbard, who manufactures bomb-proof bunkers and fallout shelters in the world's largest factories of its kind in Texas, said that for customers place orders within 24 hours of the strike in Ukraine, while more ordered additional reinforcements for their existing bunkers on a typical day. Herbert told the British newspaper he sells a single bunker. It says the price to start at 20,000 and goes up to multiple millions. He explains, adding that the average customer spends 500,000 on their shelter. Prior to the ocean strike, Hubbard said that the Cold War 19 lockdowns and the Russia-Ukraine and the Israel-Hamas conflicts has already driven the uptick in sales. According to the market research cited by the Independents, the U.S. market for bomb and fallout shelters is expected to grow 137 million last year to 175 million by 2030. The buyers most often citing the rise threat of the nuclear or terrorist attacks on civil unrest. Hobart, the Independent, that the bunkers can withstand anything from the tornadoes to hurricanes to nuclear fallouts to a demic to even a volcano eruption. However, it is unlikely that any commercially available bunkers could survive a hypersonic missile strike. While the destructive power of the ocean may have driven more customers to Hobart, the missile will likely never be used against targets in the contentious U.S. Even in the event of an all-out war and an immediate range ballistic missile (IRBM), the ocean has a range between 3,000 kilometers and 5,500 kilometers plus on a section of the U.S. West Coast within the striking distance. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 4. It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army, horse and horsemen, all of them clover also, so armor, even a company, bucklers, shields, all of them swords. Right, so Heavenly Father's going to continue to put that mindset, that warlike mindset into the Russians. That's why you've been seeing ever since then, Russia been building up its nuclear capability. And then those bunker sales been going up. But those bunkers is not going to stop the nuclear capability from these of China, China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. to, against Babylon with the nuclear capability. This is Joel chapter 3 in verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this amongst the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Joel chapter 3 verse 10 says, beat your plowshares and swords and plenty hooks and spears, and let the weak sound scream. And this is it's the book of Matthew 24 and verse 7. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. It's the book of Revelations. Book of Revelations 11 verse 14. It says, the second will pass, behold, third will come quickly. Or Armageddon, Armageddon. You see increasing signs of that. As it says again, Russian or sink strike boosts bunker sales and media. The market for home survival shelters is predicted to grow from 175 million by 2030. What's that song said? Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, baby. Hey, we got those nuclear capabilities from those nations. Hey, those nuclear capabilities of those hypersonic and ballistic missiles going to overthrow those bunkers. So even if you run to take cover in an all-out war situation, that's still not going to stop the nuclear capability for overthrowing that. As I add a side note to that, it says never that warns the Times over response to Russians' Jew murder. The Daily British has described the Ergov Klavos deletion as a legitimate act of defense by Ukraine, right? Because we've seen the Russia-Ukraine situation is only going to intensify. Now, after that incident has occurred, now the escalation is going to heat up between both sides from Russia and Ukraine. And let's see. Let's go to another news outlet. Go to Time of Israel. It says strikes reported in Yemen after the IDF downs missile launch at central Israel, which I reported that story already. It says White House spokesperson chokes up about reciting prayers for hostages as the Israeli embassy Hanukkah event. It says the Houthis media report says strikes target power station in Sitdown, Red Sea oil terminal. U.S. officials say strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen not carried out by Americans. Another one, Houthi TV reports that airstrikes in Sitdown was a Yemeni coastal province. Some more. Check out news now. It says new details emerge on Israel's action on buffer zone changes to U.S. position. Right, because it makes perfect sense because you have one of the representations of the rebel groups over in Syria recently called out Israel Defense Force for their action with the Syrian buffer zone in that region.